Brenna Meyer here, and I'm going to be talking about how you can have a lesson plan to teach your students about alcohol in the high school level. My subtopic will be about how alcohol and binge drinking specifically affects the brain and athletic performance of our teens. The standards that I will be using are from the Health Education Content Standards for California Public Schools. The objectives that I'll specifically be using from those standards are 1.1a, which is describe the health benefits of abstaining from or discontinuing use of alcohol. 1.2a, which is explain the impact of alcohol and how that affects brain chemistry, brain function, and behavior. Finally, 6.1a, which is predict how a drug-free lifestyle will support the achievement in short-term and long-term goals. So what are the goals that I have for my students? I want my students to be able to have individual thought processing and learning. I want them to be creative and create a contract. I also want my students to be able to discuss the information that they learn with their fellow peers in the class. So what is my activity? I'll have a 45-minute activity. The first 10 minutes, I'm going to do a PowerPoint presentation and lesson about how alcohol affects the brain and athletic performance in teens. The next 20 minutes, I'll have my students summarize the information from the PowerPoint and write down 2 ways alcohol affects their bodies, 2 reasons why they should abstain from using alcohol, and 2 reasons or 2 ways how to stay safe and help others when surrounded by alcohol, because let's face it, they're going to be in situations with people with alcohol, or they're going to drink, and they need to know how to stay safe, so why not teach them? Then I'll have my students create a contract for themselves about alcohol. The contract should be one that they can really stay true to and not something crazy that they can't commit to, something reasonable for them. The contract should include at least 3 points on what the student agrees to commit to do. For example, I agree to not get in a car with someone who has been drinking. I agree to not drink and drive. I agree to not drink at all. I agree to be in a group of 4 when I go out, that kind of thing. And then the contract should also include at least 1 short-term and 1 long-term goal that will help direct students in their future career and life plans. And it's also something for the teacher to see what they want to do in their future. The next 10 minutes of the activity will be group presentations. So after writing down the summaries and creating the contracts, the students will get in smaller groups, like 4 to 5 people, and share at least one of their I agree to points and one of their goals of their contract. And then the last 5 minutes, bring it together, ask students, based on what you've learned today, will consuming alcohol, how does it affect you, and will it affect your goals or not? And will you get to that final destination if alcohol is in your life or not? So what do you think? And then ask for volunteers to share with the entire class. Finally, how will I assess this? Students will turn in their summaries and contracts for grading. The summary must contain the 2 ways alcohol affects their bodies, 2 reasons why they should abstain from using alcohol, and 2 ways to stay safe. The contract should include at least 3 points on what the student agrees to commit to do about alcohol in their lives, and then their short-term and long-term goal, at least 1. And then the contracts will stay safe with me or the teacher and be brought out throughout the school year to remind students about what they agreed to do and to keep that fresh in their brains so they remember to stay safe and make the right choices. So that is it. Other than materials needed, you need writing utensils and paper, colors and stuff would be nice, but you don't need that. It can be simple. And that is a lesson plan on alcohol for high schoolers.